this is our final goodbye to YouTube.
Steven, talk about money.
Yeah, what's this price?
You can become a member of Watcher for $5.99 a month or $59.99 a year.
We messed up.
Well guys, history really does repeat itself, huh? It is estimated by scientists that at any given point, there is at least one YouTube channel out there who is thinking about paywalling all of their content. It is also estimated that this is literally never a good idea. Real quickly before we discuss that further though, I would like to apologize for sounding a little bit sickly. I have once again been slapped in the face by father allergies, so I sound a little bit sniffly right now. Please bear with me. With that being said, however, YouTubers getting greedy and trying to paywall their content is not exactly a new concept. Many a YouTuber have decided that the millions of dollars they are receiving from YouTube ad revenue is just really not enough, and they try and make it to where every single person who wants to watch their content has to pay them directly to do so. This strategy, historically, has literally never worked. Ever. So I don't really know why people keep trying to do it. I think a lot of YouTubers and other media entities in general far overestimate what people are willing to pay for. When something is well established as free for the consumer in a particular market, trying to charge for it basically never works. This is why most people won't think twice about buying a $4 or $5 cheeseburger at McDonald's, but won't spend 99 cents for an app on their iPhone. Most cheeseburgers aren't free. Most apps are. But even with this well-observed phenomenon being known to most people, there will always be somebody who tries to change the status quo, and the YouTube channel Watcher are the most recent pioneers. Now, if you've never heard of this channel, it was made by the guys from BuzzFeed Unsolved after they parted ways with BuzzFeed and started to do their own thing. And do their own thing they did successfully. They garnered millions of subscribers, everything they post gets millions of views. They were doing pretty well. Until a few days ago when they released a video titled Goodbye YouTube, where they announced that they would no longer be uploading anything to YouTube and all of their content moving forward would be on their own private streaming service that they had recently launched, which would cost anybody who wanted to continue watching their content $6 a month for literally nothing but what they've been posting on their YouTube channel for the last 3 or 4 years. Now, obviously, this was not received very well. They lost like 100,000 subscribers in the span of a couple of days. Many people vowed to never watch them again. It was not pretty. Now, as of recording this, about an hour ago, they released a video basically taking back everything they said. They've changed the model of how they're going to be releasing content, and they've backtracked on essentially every plan that they said they're going to have moving forward. It's being received pretty well so far, but I'm not really sure it should be. We're going to take a look at both videos today just so you have the full context, and then we'll talk a little bit more afterwards. So in case you haven't seen it already, we're going to start with their original announcement, focusing on the segment where they talk about their new content model and how they're leaving YouTube. Let's begin. Please subscribe.
All that being said, we have realized that it would be great if we could find a way to rely less on advertising, not make it such a big part of our business. So we've been working over the past few months and years, like how can we make this business more sustainable? How can we make something where we can make the things that we want to make for all of you guys and not be worried about all the other forces that are here? In terms of where this company is going and where I believe that we can be the most successful, YouTube is no longer the place for that.
Okay, so this little snippet right here I think is a pretty good synopsis of the first 8 minutes or so of this video. How they're presenting this is saying they want to rely less on advertising and sponsorships to fund their content, and how staying on YouTube doesn't really support that. Now, if you ask me, this is absolute bullshit, and I think it's pretty easy to see that. It's very clear that the reason they want to do this is because they want more money. Half of this video is spent talking about how they want these videos they release on this channel to be like TV shows. My brothers in Christ, where do you think that TV stations have gotten their money for the last 100 years? Why would you actually care that your money is coming from advertisements? That makes no sense whatsoever. You just thought this would be a way to make more money. That's it.
For anybody who's watched or supported us to this point, truly, thank you. The goal was always to make television caliber quality content. And not just for YouTube, but for you guys. I guess we just hope you guys follow us this one last time.
What a lame thing to say. Yeah, we took a chance and broke away from what was known as a toxic company online and did our own thing. Now we want to be that toxic company and make you pay for our content. I hope that you'll follow us. Pretty please?
To our very own independent streaming service, Watcher.
Watcher is an ad-free, independent streaming service dedicated to providing you guys the television caliber content that you know and love. But you're probably wondering, how is it going to be different than the YouTube experience?
The new streamer, I think, is a place that reflects what our content is.
Let me translate that for you guys. The way this differs from the YouTube experience is that you have to pay them directly for it. Oh, plus the UI is purple. Oh, did I mention that you don't get to watch any other channels for that $6? It's just them. Yeah, the way it differs from the YouTube experience is that it's infinitely worse and you lose money. You guys are true visionaries.
High quality series in season form, beautifully organized, ad-free. It's what we were destined to be.
First of all, bigger and better content.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to improve Ghost Files. I mean, I'm very happy with how the show has been, produced so far, but the streamer's gonna give us an opportunity to really add to it from a format standpoint, but we'll also be able to take bigger swings and go international, like we're going to the UK and we're going to Scotland. Also, the more resources we have, the more time we could focus on making the show better, and every season of that show, I want it to be better than the last, and I'm very excited for season 3. Which you guys will see on the streamer.
Okay, so this is where I think the video gets really delusional. I checked these guys' Social Blade, and it looks like they get about 12 million views a month. And their videos tend to be on the longer side of things. They're all about 30 or 40 minutes each, which is probably gonna net you like $5 to $6 per 1,000 views, if not more. Plus, it looks like everything they upload has an integrated sponsorship, which at their size is probably gonna be like $10,000 to $20,000 at the low end per video. Sponsorship prices have gone down over the last couple of years, so we'll say $10,000 to be safe, but I would be extremely surprised if they weren't getting a lot more. So 12 million views a month at $6 per 1,000 views, plus 4 uploads getting $10,000 apiece for a sponsorship per month, you're looking at a measly $112,000 a month, which would mean to make up what they're making on YouTube, they would need about 19,000 people to sign up for their streaming service. And they're acting like doing this is going to allow them to take their content to the next level. So they must have thought like 30,000 people were going to sign up for this shit. 4 videos a month from the same people over and over again for $6. I'd be surprised if 500 people signed up for this.
And not only will there be new, fresh shows, we're going to put it up to the members to resurrect a show from the past. There are a lot of shows that maybe didn't do phenomenally on YouTube that would be performing perfectly fine on a streamer.
What a weird, wonderful idea.
What a weird, wonderful idea that would be.
I'm excited about the prospect of bringing on some new talent, some new faces, and making content around them. And, being able to shape some shows that don't always involve us is something I'm really excited about.
Am I the only person who thinks these guys may have gone crazy or something? Did they think they were just gonna come out of nowhere and start competing with Netflix or something? They are charging actual streaming service prices. You can get a Netflix or Hulu subscription for $6. I mean, it genuinely seems like they thought they were gonna get 1 million subscribers overnight or something. What do you mean bringing on new talent? I don't know who advised these guys to do this, but whoever did should be fired yesterday. Why not just start a channel membership or something? That would have made you a lot more money than this.
Steven, talk about money.
Yeah, what's this price?
You can become a member of Watcher for $5.99 a month or $59.99 a year.
We want to keep the price low enough where anybody and everybody is able to afford it, but it also has to support the things that we do here. So that was the number that just made the most sense for the streamer.
Oh yeah, the economy is in the shitter, inflation is insane, some people out there are struggling to afford bread, but no, $6 is nothing. Probably pretty easy to say when you're in a circle like this and you've become out of touch with reality. The guy in the red jacket on the right recently dropped 55 grand on a wedding. That's just for the venue, by the way. But yeah, you guys should give them $6 a month to watch their YouTube videos. They're clearly living paycheck to paycheck. They can barely make this content happen.
In all seriousness, we really couldn't be more excited for you guys to join us on this next chapter, hopefully. We'd love for you guys to come along with us. But at the same time, this is our final goodbye to YouTube. And if it's our goodbye to you, I hope it's not, but if it is, I do want to say thank you for supporting us all along the way.
Your viewership has allowed us to do all these wonderful things that we've done these past 4 years. And we hope that you'll come along for the ride.
And help us continue to build.
Yeah.
Build this thing out even bigger. That's the hope, at least. But either way, it's been fun. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, look, I'm not one to try and put words into a person's mouth just because of a way they're acting. Alright, well that's kind of a lie, I sort of am, but just look at how these guys are acting. This is supposed to be their last video on YouTube ever, and this is their goodbye. This is their final message to the people that made them everything, who made their dreams come true. It's basically just like, alright, yeah, give us money. See ya. What a stand-up group. But that's where that video ended. Now it's time to see how they responded to all the backlash.
Hey everyone, last Friday we announced that we're leaving YouTube and launching our new streaming platform.
We messed up. A lot of you spoke out with extremely valid comments and concerns, and we want to take the time now to address those.
We've been reading the things you've been saying, and we're sorry for the way we handled this, as well as the way we communicated it. We understand where you're coming from, and we're making immediate changes.
First, we want to affirm that you are the reason why we've been able to do anything at this company.
Yeah, no shit, brother. Way to try and appeal to emotion there. That kind of goes without saying. Every YouTuber is nothing without their audience. You guys clearly don't care about that though, because it's quite obvious that you see your audience as dollar signs.
You helped us every step of the way when we left BuzzFeed to start Watcher at the top of the pandemic in 2020.
You've supported us in so many ways by watching our content, attending our live shows, buying our merch, becoming members of our Patreon, and giving words of encouragement over the years. And we are incredibly grateful for your support.
We're sorry for how we originally delivered our goodbye message to YouTube. It was insensitive. We didn't properly express how much we appreciate all of you.
All right, look guys, I'm not a big Watcher fan. I've never seen a single one of your videos, but I feel like I can kind of safely say that's not really the issue people had. Sure, that was probably a small part of it. Like I said, you basically said, see you guys, give us your money. But I think people are much more upset about the reason you're saying goodbye rather than how you did it.
And we did a really bad job of explaining the reasoning behind this transition.
We also want to deeply apologize for our ignorance around the impact of the cost. We regret stating and implying that it's a price that anybody can afford, and we fully acknowledge that it is not. We didn't take the proper consideration for how this cost would affect you, and hope you know that we are taking this as a serious learning experience. With that in mind, we're making some changes to ensure that there's a way for our community to continue watching our content for free.
If you want to watch our shows early and ad-free, you can catch them on the Watcher platform a month earlier. After that, you'll be able to watch our shows on YouTube for free.
This is the format that most big production kind of channels on YouTube follow, with a Patreon or something, and nobody ever complains about it because it makes a lot of sense. You guys could have made so much money by just doing this from the beginning, but now so many people rightfully won't do this out of principle because of what you actually wanted to do from the beginning. In the words of DJ Khaled, you played yourself.
As for the question of why we decided to launch our own platform, when we started Watcher in 2020, we wanted to create shows that we were proud of, that we had ownership over, and that would provide you the caliber of content that we felt you deserved. However, we were finding it harder and harder to stay relevant to advertisers and the constantly changing YouTube landscape. We faced some incredibly challenging decisions. We didn't want to compromise our content to ensure they met advertising requirements. And we definitely did not want to lay people off that have brought Watcher to life behind the scenes. And we didn't want to bring Watcher to a close.
Hey guys, whoever your PR manager is, you need to fire them. Like right now. Who wrote and approved this apology? Yeah, we didn't want to change our content, didn't want to be more flexible to advertisers, didn't want to lay anybody off, so instead, we figured we'd just say fuck you to 99% of our audience and say, hey, pay us money to watch our content or get lost, buddy. Good looks, guys.
Which would have happened if we stayed solely on YouTube.
Okay. You guys should really stop talking. When one of the three main guys of your YouTube channel drops 55 grand on a wedding venue, you kind of lose all credibility when you start saying you can't afford to make YouTube videos anymore. I went back a couple of years and the quality of your videos has pretty much maintained the same. Maybe there's more editing, but for the most part, it seems like it's been pretty consistent. This whole situation is just screaming all three of us have fallen into the trap of lifestyle creep, and now we just want more money to continue living our extravagant lifestyle. I don't think this really has anything to do with how much money YouTube brings in.
That's why we decided to launch the platform, so that we as a company could continue, we could pay our staff fairly, and not only continue to make great content for you, but expand with new shows, new voices, all ad-free. And now with the addition of accessible options, this is a decision that we all believe is the best for Watcher.
However, we realized that in figuring out the logistics of what this might take, we overlooked the way it would impact all of you. We hope you'll be patient with us through these mistakes, and we remain incredibly sorry that they were made in the first place.
I see a lot of people in the comments saying they're glad these guys are taking responsibility for what they did and apologizing. If you're falling for this and you're thinking this is genuine, I've got a bridge to sell you. They didn't overlook how this is going to affect their audience. Are you kidding me? This entire thing working is dependent on their audience. They surely expected backlash, probably just not this much. I promise you, if the backlash was the same but 30,000 people signed up for that streaming service, you wouldn't be seeing this update.
We also want to directly address our Patreon community, who have played such a key role in supporting us from the very beginning.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot to mention their Patreon. At this point, I would just say completely ignore that $112,000 estimate I gave earlier. That has got to be such a gross underestimate that it's kind of funny. As of right now, they have over 13,000 Patreon members, and I'm sure they've lost a bunch since this came out. Yeah, that's an extra $100,000 a month or so, and that doesn't even include merch and the live shows they do, all that stuff. Yeah, these guys are bringing in crazy money, trust me. But that's basically where this video ends. They give another soulless thank you before signing off. And if you read the comments section of this video, it seems like that was surprisingly enough for a lot of people. Lots of phrases like taking responsibility being thrown around, when really the only reason this was done is likely because these guys went into panic mode, worrying about the possibility of going broke. If these videos didn't open up the eyes of their audience to the fact that they just want to milk them dry for all the money they can, then I guess they got pretty lucky procuring the audience they did, because it doesn't get much more obvious than this. Go check out some of the videos this channel has made, or just these guys' social media accounts, and tell me if you think that they look like they're struggling to make ends meet. Well guys, what do you think? Is everybody being too harsh on these three, or do they deserve the backlash? I don't think there's anything wrong whatsoever with trying to create your own platform. I think if you have the resources to do that, it's a great idea. Becoming more self-sustainable is never a bad thing, but to try and paint this as an oh woe is me moment, saying you're not making enough money on YouTube while you very clearly are, and the willingness to turn your back on the audience who gave you everything, is pretty gross. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and walk on over to that subscribe button and touch it. It's free. It won't cost you anything. But for now, that's all I have for you today. Bye.